get some. Welcome to Racin and Stuff, the show where we talk about racing and other sports. As always, I'm Doug, and I'm here once again with my good friend Chris. How are you, Chris?
I'm good. We've got a lot to talk about today, Doug. How are you?
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I'm rested for once. I did not work this morning, so I feel
we'll
good.
see a fresh-minded Doug
This
today.
is how I am when I woke up only like 3 hours ago as opposed to 7. So,
I noticed playing it back. I've noticed a couple of times you said the whole, I've already been up for 7 or 8 hours, and that's not a good thing.
Yeah. Today is April 29th. We know what today is, right? April 29th?
Well, it's not tax day.
No. It's Dale Earnhart's birthday.
Yes, it is.
He would have been 58 years old today.
Yes, it is. I don't know how I missed that. Yeah, you're right.
And we have some cool props on set with us today, and one of them actually is the car that Kevin Harvick ran the first 2 weeks after Earnhardt died. So I guess it's kind of amusing. I didn't pick it because of that, but that is how it worked out. But we have a lot to talk about. And speaking of Earnhardt, and the Earnhardt family, the race at Talladega was this last weekend. And first things first, congratulations to Brad Keselowski. Before we talk about anything else, this guy, 25 years old, 5th career start, running for this small-time team, wins. And nobody's talking about it. And I just want to say congratulations.
Yeah, I think. I mean, we watched the race together this weekend, and
yes.
it was. I cannot. We'll talk about just the finish right now, just him, the fact that he won. I think it's incredible. I think. After the race, I was thinking about it, and then even Monday, as I woke up, I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, wait, I actually had the moment of, did that really happen? Did Brad Keselowski actually win the race? It's been so long. I mean, we talked about this on Sunday a little bit. It's been so long since a non-regular driver and team, in both senses, won at the Cup level, and I still had the moment of, is this really happening? Did this really happen? No, Junior had to have won. You know, I'm sure you would have liked that, but
yeah, I kept saying they should have penalized him somehow and given the win to Junior.
Yeah, and I remember asking you. I said, "Wait, you don't think they would, do you?" And you were like, "No, not at all."
I actually did hesitate for a second. They might have. I'm surprised. I'm a little surprised they didn't.
Yeah, it was incredible. I mean, I'm so happy for him, and I mean, yes, I like him because he's a Hendrick development driver, but
he was not driving for Hendrick.
Yeah, I know, but I just think
I'm pretty sure they bought their car from Hendrick, but he
just seems like a really cool guy, and I'm really happy for him, and you know,
and I'm happy too because this is Junior's Busch driver, you know, so there's that connection there for me too. I mean, this is the guy that he handpicked a couple years ago before he joined Hendrick.
Yeah,
you know,
and you know what's interesting is watch him, you know, this happened a few years ago with some other drivers. Watch him go and win like 2 or 3 Busch races in a row now.
Yeah. Well, he's already won a couple Busch races too.
Yeah.
But we know, and that he's a young driver. He's on the path for Cup, but he wasn't there yet. And I'm trying to think. I don't even know how to explain to non-racing fans how big of an upset this was. But it's almost like, I mean, this wasn't just like the Detroit Lions winning in a Super Bowl. This would be like a college team somehow winning the Super Bowl. A team that didn't even think were in contention.
You know, and it'd be interesting to see what you think of this. I actually heard something, and I had thought this, and then I heard it on a sports radio show I was listening to. They likened it. They were talking about this actually, and they likened it a little bit in the sense to the unexpectedness of it to the Giants and the Patriots. A little bit.
No, this is bigger.
You're saying bigger.
No. The Giants were released in the show. I mean, when you watch that Super Bowl, you're saying to yourself, either the Giants or the Patriots are going to win. Okay? This would be like, I mean, like I said, this is like somebody, I mean, this is somebody who shouldn't have even been in the race, maybe. You can go so far to say this team came to Talladega this weekend.
A better example would be perhaps something like a 16 seed in the NCAA playoff or something like that. Something
it would
along
be like
those
the
lines.
65th seed. The team that wins the play-in game,
winning it all.
Yeah, that's what it's like. I mean, this is not a regular driver. This is not a regular team. I mean, in every level, this was David and Goliath all over again. The driver has made this was his 5th career start. Okay, the team has never run a full-time season in NASCAR. Has only been around in the Cup Series. I want to say 10 years, and they've only run like maybe 7 to 10 races a year, every year. This is The crew, I'm sure, is part-time. They probably rarely work together. I mean, in every sense, the team had no advantage, had nothing going for them.
Underdeveloped, just everything. Because they say at restrictor plates you can take a junk.
It is always exciting. I always know it's exciting. It was very typical for the racetrack. Obviously, there were 2 big wrecks, and then there was the nasty wreck at the end of the race. Again, it's like so there were a lot of passing for the lead, a lot of 3-wide racing. That's exciting. I'm not going to sit here and be like, that was the greatest race ever, because every time I watch these races, I almost feel guilty for enjoying it because of what the drivers have to go through. So
I think I'm going to take a little bit of a different tune, and I'm going to say it was not the best race I've ever seen. It was one of the better races I've seen in a long time. I mean, it was I don't know if you heard this. It was tied for the 4th most lead changes ever.
Yeah, ever. But that's the thing about that for me, though, is that when is Talladega not exciting?
Yeah, no, that's true.
And when is Daytona not exciting?
But the interesting thing with what you said about I almost in a way feel guilty about liking it because of what the drivers go through. There was a discussion the other day on a NASCAR show about it, and one of the analysts actually said something along those lines, but then said, well, the fans pay to see it, the drivers get paid. So he almost in a way said, suck it up. That's not what he said, and I paraphrase.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying. Here's the thing. It's a draw because it's a great race to watch. And the drivers, they have to deal with it because if they want to race in NASCAR, they're basically agreeing. I mean, if you don't like road courses, if you want to race in NASCAR, well, you got to deal with 2 road courses a year. You don't like restrictor plate racing, you got to deal with 4 of them a year. But that's only 4 though. I mean, it's funny how they space them out too. Like, begin the season, quarter of the way in the season, halfway, 3/4 of the way through the season. It's kind of like that one little hiccup every so often. I mean, it's kind of true, but it doesn't mean it shouldn't be changed.
Yeah, but what do you do? I mean, what do you realistically do to change it?
Oh, well, and I said this 2 weeks ago. You take the plates off. You take the plates off. Those restrictor plates are what caused the big packs. Now, here's the thing. Are you concerned about the wreck that Edwards had? Carl Edwards flipping at the end of the race? Don't be. Because the only bad thing that came out of that was that fans got injured. Otherwise, he was okay. And I can't remember the last time somebody got in one of those wrecks and came out not okay. It's actually better for one of those wrecks because all the energy dissipates and all that, and guys don't get, as hard on. As opposed to the way Clint Boyer went headfirst into the wall in the first big wreck about 7 laps in, that's more likely to kill somebody. That is what killed Earnhardt, one of those type of wrecks. And those wrecks only happen at restrictor plate races because of the huge packs. So you take off the plates, and yes, somebody might flip. Somebody could flip at Martinsville, though.
Very true.
It can happen anywhere. That you're not going to be able to change. But what you can change is the likelihood for somebody dying. If you take the plates off, the speeds are going to be they're going to dramatically increase, of course. It's going to go up to like 215, and that's probably being cautious. It'll probably go up to 225. Okay? Second of all, you won't see the big packs anymore. It'll be like a really big Michigan all over again, and guys will probably be in the middle, the top, you can run all the different lines, but they won't be together. And so if a guy, you'll see more of like a single car spin than anything else. You'll probably only see like 3 cautions a race, and 2 of them will be for debris. I mean, I don't see how you can. The only reason they don't is like it's almost like that once you get over 200, it scares the living daylights out of NASCAR. I don't know why, because the IndyCar series runs like 225 regularly, and they're just fine.
That's very true. There's a connotation behind that 200 miles per hour thing. And what I've always been a huge fan of restrictor plate races, and I don't want to see them change it. And you know what I've heard is they're going to make the plates smaller for the race.
That's only going to make it worse.
Yep, that's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought.
Because the ability to pass will become less, and so it's going to be
what they have. It's going to make the race even less exciting because you're right. It's going to be much harder to pass. It's going to be more pressure on stay in the gas, jump the position when I can. And,
blocking. That's going to continue to be paramount, which is another thing.